are back again. This is number 2 for December, and you get glasses today. You know why? It's raining, it's cold, it's a glasses kind of day. So, you just get glasses today. So, what are we going to talk about? What is in the mirror today? Wisdom part 2. You know, it's hard to make a video about my elders and not have a part 2. I don't know. You can't. They're too amazing. And so I wanted to talk about them a little bit more because they are worth talking about, at least to me. So here goes. I wanted to talk about why they are amazing and do a little comparison of where we are now, because I'm a nana, and so where we were back then when I had a grandmother, a great grandmother who we call mama, and so forth and so on. And so let's just kind of think about where we are today versus where they were. I want you to imagine, if you will, and if you're like my age, when you imagine this, you're going to think about the things that I'm thinking about. But if you're like much younger, your grandmother, your nana, your Mima, your whatever you call her, your Gigi, because you know now, God forbid you call somebody granny. You know, people like, everybody has to have a new name because we don't want to be called granny because God forbid somebody thinks we're old. So anyway, that's a whole nother story, because you know the alternative to getting old is, in case you didn't know, it's death. So it's either get old or don't get old. So I'm going to go with getting old. But back to my elders. So think about, if you're 40 or older, let's go with that. Think about your grandmother. And both of my grandmothers had lots of kids. And I think about how they managed to raise amazing children, one of which was my mother and one of which was my father. So that's why I say amazing. Amazing children with what they had. No microwave, no dishwasher, no washer or dryer, no Instapot, no Keurig, no air fryer, no crock pot, no blender, no mixer. I know it just seems strange, like you think that there was a world where this was happening, but it wasn't that long ago. No Roomba vacuuming the floor for you by just calling on Alexa. Just all these things that they didn't have. Yet, they managed to raise resilient, amazing, determined, God-fearing children who grew up and made us who we are today. And I don't know, the world was just different then. And now, here's what we got. We have Gigi's, or, you know, G-Mommy, or all these other pretty names, because I don't want the name Granny because that sounds old. And so we have these names now. And we have these people who we call grandmothers. And it's just so different. And I say that because that's me. I am not like my grandmother at all. As much as I learned from her, as much as I gleaned her wisdom, she just had a tenacity that I just don't have. Especially when it comes to like what she did, raising, 10, 11, 12 children. Whew, can you imagine having 10, 11, 12 children in this day and age in a small house without all of the amenities, without, your housekeeper coming in, and without all of the extra things that we have. We have things that tell us, you can just tell it, turn the lights on, turn this on, turn the air on. Ooh, no AC. Oh, have mercy. Turn this, all these things that we have. And you know what? We're still not satisfied. We have children who are entitled, ungrateful, they aren't satisfied. All of these things that they didn't eat. I don't eat this, I don't eat that, I don't eat. At my grandmother's house, it went on the table and we ate. The end. The end. That was it. It was just the end. And you know what was funny? Because now we have children and, God forbid, this is real. Allergies are real. They are real. But part of the reason why they're real is because food isn't like it used to be. My grandmother would go get the vegetables from the garden. We would pick the fruit from the tree or the vine. So now, your food came across the country in a freezer truck or however it got here. And so now you have this whole list of, my child can't eat this and can't eat that and can't, all these can'ts, because the world is such a mess now. And so I think about, my grandmother, we sat down, we ate at the table. We had conversations. Like I actually talked to her. She talked back to me. I learned a lot from her, just from watching her, and just, cooking wasn't about asking Google for a recipe. Cooking was going in the kitchen with your grandmother and watching her, and then her allowing you to do, okay, this time you get to do this, and this time you get to do this, and before you know it, because you were the mixer, you mix with your hand. You're mixing something, and then you get a chance to put it on the stove, and so you learned how to cook. And cooking was an art. It wasn't, I'm gonna have a turkey done in 45 minutes because I put it in the Instapot. Like, really? And so those are the things that I think about when I think about our elders and how we've gotten so far from that. But then we wonder, why our children are in the shape that they're in, and why they are so entitled and can't hear the word no, and don't understand when they didn't get a job. Like, they grow up and think, I'm going to graduate college and then I'm going to be president of a company. And not that saying you can't do that, because, they can do amazing things. But not everybody's going to grow up and be the president of a company. Not everybody's going to grow up and say, I'm going to be the millionaire in 2 years because I'm going to be making so much money. I'm going to have a job where I just fly all over the world and do great things. We're not all doing that. And so we have to get back to what our elders built. They built a country where hard work was important. And while it is great to be an entrepreneur, I am not knocking it at all. But are you going to be an entrepreneur who works hard? Are you going to be an entrepreneur who gets out there and does what is necessary for the business to grow? Or are you going to be the entrepreneur who says, I put it on social media, I don't understand why I'm not a millionaire? And so let's get back to where we were. And I think as sad as COVID has been to a lot of us, somehow, some way, we have all been affected, by COVID, whether it is someone who got sick, someone who went in the hospital, or, someone who didn't make it, who did not survive COVID. But COVID has done some other things for us. And so we have to look at the situation that we're in now and say to ourselves, how is this situation we're in now, how can it take us back to the roots of our elders? And it is. It is making us cook food. Like, really, cook food. Like, not order the DoorDash or the Uber Eats, but actually cook food. It is making us sit at a table together and have a conversation. It is making us look at one another in the eye. It is making us see who we really are outside of all of the things that we do. Because your child, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, your friend, they are more than what they do. They are not just a football player, not just a tennis player, not just a track star, not just a dancer, not just a basketball player, not just a rapper, not just a culinary student, not just a cosmetologist. I mean, they're more than that because they're human. And they're made in the image of an amazing God. And that is one of the things that I learned from my elders. I'm not what I do. I am who I was made to be, with purpose, value, beautiful. But I'm not what I do. Because what I do will eventually pass on. You won't play football all your life. You won't dance all of your life. That won't be the only thing you're doing. You won't just be a cosmetologist. You won't just be a basketball player. You won't just be those things. And so you cannot take your life and envelop your entire life into this one thing and make people see you as only that thing. Because there's so much more to you than that. There's a person inside of you who connects to other people. There's a voice inside of you that needs to be heard in this world we live in. There's a mind in there that's going to shape our world in one way or another. There's value. There's purpose in you. And so, from my elders, while I was celebrated and pushed to do great things, but it wasn't about just those things. It was about so much more than that. And so you have to, look in the mirror. Look at me with these glasses again. Look in the mirror and say, I'm more than what I do. Yes, you are beautiful. Yes, you have great value. Yes, you are mighty in purpose. And you are not just what you do. There's so much more to you than that. And this is what our elders have said to us. This is what they were trying to tell us when they were laying a foundation of greatness, tenacity, perseverance, dedication, loyalty. When they were laying that great foundation, work ethic, they were telling us, you're more than what you do. Part of you is connected to the community that you live in, and you should be bringing value to that community. Part of you is connected to this world we live in, and we should be bringing value to that world as well. We are connected one to another. And so when I look in the mirror and I see me and I say those 3 things that I tell you to say all the time, I want you to know that value and purpose has a connection to someone else's value and purpose. And so while I'm looking in the mirror, I'm standing in the lane, I'm seeing me. But the joy of getting to the point where I only see me is because I need to see how amazing I am. I need to see how beautiful I am. I need to see how great I am, how valued I am. And then when I get there, now I'm ready to be great for you. Now I'm ready to add to your purpose. Now I'm ready to add to your value. Because I can't do those things when I myself am not complete in me. You can't do it until you're complete in you. So you got to see that completeness in you first. And then you're ready for everybody else. And this is why I loved my elders. because I never heard my grandmother compare herself to someone else. I always heard my grandmother give great. I mean, when someone could do something, she had no problem saying, I mean, so-and-so, now you need to get that from her because she makes the best whatever. She can do the best whatever. But it never negated how amazing she was at what she did. And so I want you to know, in your being valuable, in your being beautiful, in your having purpose, once you get grounded in that, and I mean you are grounded, no one can tell you otherwise. It doesn't matter what happens in your life. It doesn't matter the circumstances that come. It doesn't matter what people say. You're grounded in those three things. You are beautiful, you have value, and you have purpose. When you get grounded in those three things, guess what? You are ready to now help others ground themselves in that as well. And so, you're beautiful. You are valuable. I'm looking straight at you. And you are purpose. You just are. You just are. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. And even when you don't think it, sorry, you still are. Even when you say, I can't see it, Jackie, doesn't matter, you still are. You're beautiful, you have value, and you have purpose. And so let's keep up with these things. Let's spend time with our elders. Let's learn our history. There are just things you should know about yourself. So learn that history. Spend time with your elders. And then be grateful for all these amazing things that God has given us. Because they managed to do it and do it well without all of the amenities we have. So we shouldn't be complaining. We shouldn't be fussing. We shouldn't be whining. Come on. We got to do better. We just have to do better. And so, with that said, let me tell you a couple of things that have happened since the last time I talked to you. I finished book 1. And can you imagine what the title is? I See Me. That's the title. It's about you. It's about you seeing you, but it's titled I See Me. You are spiritual. You are emotionally equipped. And you are mentally empowered. That is what the See Me stands for. You're spiritual. You're emotionally equipped. And you're mentally empowered. That's what it is. So, if you're looking for that, you can go to the website. www.iseeme.net. So it's iseeme.net. You can order it there. I've tried to, y'all know I'm not good with Facebook and Instagram. I tried. Like I said, I'm going to do it every day. That didn't happen. But I'm trying to put it up there as much as I can so it'll stay at the top of the feed thing, whatever it is. You can get it there, or, you can just contact me and say, Jackie, come on, girl, order me one and just send it to me and I'll cash app you. So, however you want to do that, doesn't matter. The point is, guess what? It is what it is, or we can make it what it should be. And how do you make it this time? Spend time with some elders. Go find some elders. Spend time with them so that you will grow and be wise beyond your years. Okay, well, that's enough for today. That was the rest of my elders. I think I've gotten it out of my system now. Could be, could not. We'll see in January. I will see you guys in 2021. I've made it through 2020. Goodbye.